Over the last couple months, I'm sure at one point or another, we've all asked ourselves why we have to take certain safety precautions like putting on masks and keeping a 6-foot distance between us and other people in order to stay safe and not spread the virus. Hello and welcome to the Portland Open Bible Pantry COVID-19 education class. Today we are going to go over how COVID-19 spreads and why we need to take certain actions to keep ourselves and others safe. With that, let's review some of the facts about how the coronavirus actually spreads.
The coronavirus family are airborne viruses, so we know they are spread through the air by people coughing and sneezing. And the droplets can either be inhaled by people who breathe them in, or they can land on surfaces, which then people might touch with their hands, then their hands go to their eyes or their nose or their mouth, and in that way it enters their own body.
Okay, so we clearly see how the virus can spread through coughing, but that still doesn't completely answer why we need to stay separate 6 feet from one another. Well, Florida Atlantic University's College of Engineering answers that question by making a great simulation on what droplets from a sneeze or cough can actually look like and how it can linger in the environment for a certain period of time. Check it out. Heavier.
Double go. 3, 2, 1.
So as you can see, a simple cough or sneeze can actually linger in the environment for up to 1.5 minutes. For that reason, it is crucial that we always make sure that we are wearing a mask and covering our mouths around others. It is critical for our safety and it can slow down the spread of the virus. A third way that we can help combat the spread of COVID-19 is to make sure that all of the surfaces that we touch are consistently clean and wiped down, especially if multiple people have access to them.
Any solutions that can remove the virus from a surface or break the virus apart are effective against COVID-19. Soap and water are very effective against COVID-19, not because they destroy the virus, but because they mechanically remove it from your skin, rinsing it away so it can't infect your cells. Alcohol-based hand sanitizer, at least 60% alcohol, can break up the protective protein layer coating the virus, rendering it harmless. This means that surface cleaners containing at least 60% alcohol can be used to sanitize surfaces too.
All right, so here's a list of surfaces that you can actually disinfect daily: tables, handles, doorknobs, light switches, desks, keyboards, phones, sinks, toilets, countertops, and faucets. Now, one of the most asked questions from people, including myself, is how the virus can affect a person by whether or not they are inside or outside. If I'm inside, do I have a greater chance of contracting the virus? The answer is, it all comes down to the airflow in a given space.
The difference between how air moves inside versus outside is huge. To show that, I used this spray which glows under a black light. I sprayed my test subject with it, both inside and outside, from 3 feet away. Even though it wasn't windy, far fewer spray particles reached his shirt outside. The airflow was so much better at dispersing them, and being outside also has an effect on the virus itself.
A virus has this protective coat of moisture around it. There's a lot of things acting on it. So there's sunlight hitting it, there's wind, there's rain, there's humidity, and all of that can work to kind of break apart this protective coat of moisture and decay the virus.
If we think about our actions only in terms of safe or risky, there's really only one way to guarantee that you won't get sick or spread COVID-19. Stay home, isolate yourself, and have zero contact with the outside world. But maintaining that level of caution all the time isn't really possible for most of us. We need food, we need supplies, and sometimes we just need to take a walk. So the goal in protecting yourself and others from COVID-19 isn't to eliminate risk completely, it's to minimize it. If this side is perpetual quarantine and this side is getting coughed on by a bunch of sick people, it's about pushing yourself as reasonably close to this side as you can.
So as you can see, the risk versus safety line is something to be aware of at all times. For the safety of our workers and people who attend the food pantry weekly, we at the Portland Open Bible Food Pantry have made sure to move all our operations outside in order to help slow down the spread of the virus.